Welcome to Nerd Positive. This is a YouTube and YouTube Live podcast show that celebrates all the things that we feel are awesome in hopes of spreading our fandom to you. After the live show airs, you can find the show on Spotify, Apple, and anywhere you find audio podcasts a little later. In the show, we dive deep into the hearts and of fandoms and celebrate the things we love. From sci-fi to fantasy, movies to TV shows, comics to video games, we explore the universes that have captured our imaginations and made us lifelong fans. Each week, we'll take you on a journey through the realms of awesomeness. Expect passionate discussions, in-depth analyses, things under the bed, many side quests. So whether you're die-hard yippee-ki-yay motherfucker or just dipping your toes in the fandom water, Nerd Positive is the place to be. I'm your host, the self-proclaimed Emperor of Awesome, Bradley Buchanan, and with me I have the unverified twin of Dwayne The Rock Johnson in the eyebrows, the unverified twin of Dave Batista in the head wrinkles, the unverified twin of Carl Weather in the mustache,
the flavor saver,
the unverified twin of Shamar Moore in the nipples, and the unverified twin of Tony Todd in the pinky.
But you got to say my name 3 times, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Brian S. Dennis. With this week, the S stands for USA, but it also could stand for Candyman. All right, sir. Let's get to it.
Yes, man. You got any shout-outs right away?
No major shout-outs other than I know we normally spend a little time talking about our favorites of the week. So I actually, before I get to what my favorite show this week is, from contenders to do that, I broke into the Batman Nightmares collection. So I'll finish that up the next day or two. Real excited for that. But I just wanted to before we get too much into our topic of the week, I wound up on Max watching the most recent M. Night Shyamalan movie, Trap. Have you seen Trap?
I have.
What were your thoughts on Trap, sir?
So, Josh Hartnett was great.
Yes.
And
very un-Josh Hartnett. It took me about 10 minutes into the movie to get like, wait, this is Josh Hartnett. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't think it was great, but I didn't think it was a bad movie by any means.
Okay.
I think Leia and Anna absolutely loved the movie. But I also think it was for that demographic.
Sure.
I think that movie, I mean, it was made to skyrocket his kid's name.
Absolutely. That's where I was going with this. Okay.
Right. Hey, if you got it, you got it. Right. So, but yeah, it's not bad, man. It's not horrible.
So when I watched it, you and I are both old enough to know when M. Night became M. Night with The Sixth Sense, and then we've gone, there's Sixth Sense, there's Lady in the Water, there was Signs, there was The Happening, which I think is a very underrated movie. The less said about The Last Airbender, the better. Then there's the trilogy with Glass, Unbreakable, Split, then Glass, and Trap. So, other than, again, the movie that shall not be named, his movies have a great, even if they don't always land, his movies have a good twist in them. So as I'm watching Trap, which was an interesting concept, I'm waiting for the twist.
And it never came.
It's almost like when you watch a Marvel movie and you're waiting for that extra scene, and and how dare it not have one, right? And it was the most straightforward M. Night Shyamalan movie, which if I think it came from another director, would have been just fine. But it was so not him that it just. And you're right. It was a vehicle for his daughter, Salika, who, if you've never seen the movie, she stars as Lady Raven, a very direct parody of, I don't say parody, definitely was Rihanna inspired. And his daughter can sing, and she made the soundtrack. And like I said, I enjoyed the movie more when they were at the concert. All
Yeah.
the stuff outside the concert, I go, and he escapes again. And he escapes again.
So
yeah.
And here's the thing. The wife should have been on. That should have been the twist.
Yes.
The wife.
That's what I thought it was leading to. Like when he goes back. By the way, spoiler alert for anyone's not seen the movie.
Yeah.
But at the end of it, when they have their kind of their talk, like so here were the two things that I want. I either wanted the wife to be in on it, because they show the little footage and someone grabs the person in the van. Okay, the wife's in on it. Or, by the way, Alison Pill, who's a very good actress. Or I wanted the mom, his mom that he's seeing in hallucinations, to be the doctor.
Mm-hmm.
That, because they kept showing the doctor from behind.
Yeah.
That would have been like, okay, his mom is the profiler who realizes, and that would have been a good twist. Like, oh, this great FBI profiler who is expert on serial killers, either her son became a serial killer or the fact that her son is a serial killer led her to become an expert, like something. Versus it was just like, okay.
Yeah.
Like, I will say the very end, and again, we've probably already spoiled the movie, and if you want to see it, it's on Max if you have that app or that streaming service. The end of it where he's giggling, that was kind of good. I mean, that leads to a sequel. I'm assuming most likely, maybe a sequel, maybe just a lead into something else. I so want somehow Bruce Willis's kid from Unbreakable to show up. Like, hey, now I'm hunting. Maybe I'm not, unbreakable, but I at least will be a crime fighter or something. Right. Maybe he'll be the person in the chair now or something. But yeah,
that's awesome. That's actually a good idea, man. So M. Night Shyamalan. And we know you're listening.
Yes.
That's right.
You need to do this.
We can help you out. We'll pitch it for you.
We got you. All right. So Trap, again, I just put it on for some background noise, and then I got into it. And again, it was an interesting concept in the concert. And of course, M. Night made a cameo, and that's also, with that. Oh, one more. I got a did you know for you, sir.
Ooh, I like these.
So I have rewatched Deadpool and Wolverine multiple times.
Mm-hmm.
So, did you know that the late, great R.I.P. Stan Lee makes a cameo
on the bus?
I was curious if you saw it. Okay. Yep. Yeah, I think it was my second time watching it. I was like, there's Stan. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Very cool, sir. All right. Well, because this theme for today has a lot to do with you. Oh, I'm sorry. What are your favorites of the week? I was jumping ahead to our rundown. What are your favorites?
Yeah, no problem. So one quick shout out. LifeVantage. Kaylee and I have been doing LifeVantage. That's a GLP-1 and then like a collagen thing. Feels really good, man. Lost a few pounds. Feel good. So good stuff. So that stuff is awesome. If anybody wants to know about that, let me know. The collagen stuff, man, dude, I took half of what you're supposed to once. Woke up the next day and my neck did not kill me like it does every day.
Oh, awesome.
I was like, what? I can move my neck in the morning? I mean, like, yeah. So it's freaking amazing stuff. And then I gotta do a little shout out to my lunch break reviews. I put out a bunch of stuff this week. I did an episode on Heretic. I'll get into that in a minute. Batman number 154, which is the last of the Chip Zdarsky run. He's the reins are being given to somebody else here for the next issue. Absolute Superman. Holy shit, man. Okay. We are not big fans.
We are not. Absolutely. So
this is fantastic. This is such more of a realistic. I mean, it just feels better. Like his suit is AI. His suit. Yeah. I mean, like it's fantastic. Also, Penguin number 7. I did an episode on that as well. So check those out. Most of them are mini episodes, just like 5 to 10 minute little episodes. As far as favorites of the week, okay, Brian, I got to give this to you. So I had homework this week.
Okay.
My TV show of the week is Matlock.
Okay.
I watched it, and I'm like, dude, I did not see that coming
Thank you.
It was wonderful. Like it changed everything because like up until the last 5 minutes, I'm like,
bro,
where is this going, dude? Like I don't get like the Matlock thing. It just didn't feel right or anything like. And I'm not going to spoil anything.
Sure,
no spoiler for Matlock. Watch it. It's fantastic. I gotta give this one to you.
All right, and again, without spoiling anything, and I won't. The first time I watched the first episode, and I put it on, because I was like, okay, they have literally run out of ideas with a remaking Matlock, and I watched it, and again, I was kind of, it's okay, but it's not great.
Yeah,
I have a one episode in, and I really watched because it stars Kathy Bates, who I really think is fantastic actress.
Yeah.
And I think we both have been there with certain shows. Like after a while, if it doesn't grab you, you may have it on, but you're only kind of half listening, half watching. And then, like you said, it gets to the twist. And that made me actually rewind a good 20 minutes of it. Like, okay, wait a minute. Wait. So yes. So, and because of that twist, again, no spoilers, that reframes all the subsequent episodes. So it is really good. It is really good. So I'm glad you enjoyed it, my friend.
Yes, and then comic book, man, Absolute Superman #1 is so good. Also, there's a new book called Hyde Street. It's written by Jeff Johns. It's also good. I'm probably going to do a Minnesota about it.
Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, or with it being called Hyde Street? I'm just curious. Or is this something we should wait for? Okay, all right.
Oh, can't see it. Anyway, yeah, I'll fill you in more about that one because Brian's gonna come on the lunch break reviews. We're gonna break down a couple things, so it's gonna be good.
Absolutely.
And then movie Heretic, man. I watched Heretic the other day.
Okay.
I went into this movie and I had no expectations, and it blew them all away. It was fantastic. It was one of the best horror movies I've seen in a while. And dude, Hugh Grant as the creepy guy.
Yes, I was curious how well he could do as the creepy guy. Okay,
dude, it was the best that I've ever seen. Like, you actually love the creepy guy.
I mean, so here's the deal. So back to what I kind of talked a little bit about with Trap. What Trap made me, and I think that was the point. What Trap made me do was root for the Josh Hartnett character, who we learned very quickly into the movie is a bad person, is a bad guy, is the villain. Just given the general premise and the trailers I've seen for Heretic, I'm rooting for Hugh Grant the whole movie, just flat out. Yes, I've heard the good news. All right, fine, but I am so rooting for Hugh Grant so hard. So again, no spoilers, but I had wanted, and I kind of forgot Heretic was coming out, but it had me at the trailer. So definitely want to catch up on Heretic. And hearing your review of it is a positive. All right, that works for me, my friend.
So good. All right, are we ready to get into the topic?
Let's roll them out, bro.
All right, dude. So our topic today, did you stick with the original plan or did you switch?
No, I when you text me, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna do something similar. So
okay. So our topic of the day this week is our favorite movies that star veterans to celebrate Veterans Day. So it's, as of tomorrow is Veterans Day, and it's also my anniversary. Yes, I got married on 11/11/11 because I will never forget it.
That's pretty brilliant, sir.
That's right.
But the only thing I did that said that if you ever do forget your anniversary, you're really in trouble.
Oh,
you're
100%.
Really in trouble. Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. So I have my top 10. Do you want to go first, or you want to do back and forth? You want to start with number 10 and work our way up?
Let's go. If you don't mind, I tell you what. Since you are a very proud veteran, I definitely again thank you for your service. Dealer's choice. How do you want us to roll? I will let you lead this one off, man.
You know what? Let's go back and forth.
All right.
I only have 10. So do you have more honorable mentions?
I do as well.
So let's. Okay, cool. So let's start with number 10, and I'll go first.
Go for it.
All right, dude. So number 10. One of my favorite movies, and I've watched it a million times. The Gambler with Mel Gibson and James Garner. James Garner is a veteran, and The Gambler stars both of them. However, he was the main character in the earlier TV show,
Maverick.
Which
yep.
Or Maverick, yeah, that's right, right, man.
Maverick. It's about a gambler, so it's fine. I knew where you were going with it.
Yep, and man, Maverick is something that should be made today. It could
Yes.
easily. Mel Gibson should make another one where he's the old guy.
It's a great movie. Jodie Foster is fantastic in it. I mean, it's just
Yeah.
really, really overall good. And I've used this in some of the presentations I've given that it is the fourth movie that stars, I'm sorry, the fifth movie that stars Danny Glover and Mel Gibson. Danny Glover makes a quick cameo in it, and it does do a country version of the Lethal Weapon theme song that plays during a bank robbery scene. So, absolutely, and again, James Garner, a proud veteran, and Gambler, Maverick Wallace did make my list. Is one of my favorite movies. All right,
So it's got so much rewatchability. So
absolutely. And the poker game and all the things. I mean, it's just fantastic. It's
yep.
fantastic. I forget the actor's name, but during the riverboat poker tournament, one of the individuals kicked off the boat was a Canada actor that played Uncle Jesse in Dukes of Hazzard. He's actually the gentleman that jumps off that holds the top hat when he jumps into the water. That's the same actor that played Uncle Jesse in Dukes of Hazzard.
Oh,
So,
that's awesome.
so
I am a big fan of the Willie Nelson version of Uncle Jesse.
yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. And I am a fan of the Jessica Simpson and the Shorts version of Daisy Duke.
Yes,
Yes,
100%.
yes.
Yeah, there's
John
some
Williams
troubling
Scott
things
and
with the
Johnny
Dukes of Hazzard, but there's
Knoxville.
also some good things.
Yes, yes. There's something like, well, okay.
Eh.
I actually had the entire. I can't remember if I mentioned on the podcast before or not. I actually had the entire set of Dukes of Hazzard vehicles. So I had the General Lee. I had Roscoe's police car. I had Boss Hogg's limo. I had Uncle Jesse's truck. I had Cooter's I had Uncle Jesse's truck. I had Cooter's tow truck, and then I had Daisy's Jeep. So I had all the things, and I used to, as a kid, wedge them in my Hot Wheels tracks and race them against like the 18 van. So, by the way, the van always won, as it
Right.
should. All right.
Mr. T is also another vet.
He is a vet. He is a vet. Speaking of that, coming in number 10, one of my favorite movies, but I also got to say it's one of my mom's favorite movies. It actually stars Sidney Poitier, who is a veteran of the U.S. Army, and that is To Sir with Love. So this movie came out in the 60s, a fantastic film and set in Britain, where Sidney Poitier plays a an actual engineer who is working as a substitute teacher while waiting for a job to come through. And he inherits a rough and tumble group of kids. And just, I mean, it set the standard for so many movies that we have gone to next seen, such as Mr. Holland's Opus and those things. And by the way, there's a singer slash actress named Lulu who sings the theme song to Sir with Love. And if you're ever looking for a song that'll just give you all the ocular perspiration, listen to Lulu, Lulu, singing To Sir with Love.
All right, it is written down. I will check
All right,
that out.
sir. Number 9 for you, my friend.
Number 9. Now, this one was one of my favorite movies out of the 90s. And, when you were in high school and it's the 90s, there was a couple of actors who came from the musical area and got into acting.
Sure.
New Jack City. New Jack City, man, it was fresh. It was the soundtrack the soundtrack was,
yes.
Oh my gosh, amazing.
Yes.
One of the main actors is a guy
through,
who's currently been playing a detective on TV longer than it takes detectives to get a pension in real life. Ice-T, happy Veterans Day.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Great movie. I'll start Mario Van Peebles, Judd Nelson, fantastic. So, again, I want to stress this for our listeners. Brad and I do not discuss our lists beforehand. While we did not match on the same movie, coming in number 9, the same actor, Ice-T, U.S. Army, I picked New Jack City is my second favorite film he's in. My favorite he actually doesn't appear in, but he is the narrator for, and that is The Other Guys, starring Marky Mark and Will Ferrell, as well as The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, and the Godfather of this show, Samuel Jackson, with an L stands for, as well as Michael Keaton. Great cast.
Yeah.
Really good movie. And just remember, Gate ain't never been about taking no shit. All right. Just love, just Eva Mendes, Marky Mark in his just being incredulous that Will Ferrell is married to the Eva Mendes character and just cannot wrap his head around it stole the movie. Definitely stole the movie. So
I mean, it's kind of like he was giving out a lot of good vibrations.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice, sir.
I mean, he's got a lot of funky bunch around him.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's almost like being sandwiched in a Wahlburger. All right, nice. Sir. Number 8.
Number 8. Back in the 90s, we had our heroes.
Which is 30, getting close to 40 years ago.
It's been like 15 years. Let's be real. The 90s have been like 15 years.
I swear it was last Thursday. Yes, sir.
Yeah, absolutely. And a movie came out that kind of redid like the action rom-com thing. Okay. It was starring Kevin Costner in the title role. Typically, he should have had an English accent. He didn't. But this is Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. It gave us the amazing song from Bryan Adams, Everything I Do it for you. But Morgan Freeman.
And I will forgive him for misspelling his first name. Brian should be with an I, not a Y, but it's okay.
Correct. Morgan Freeman is a veteran.
Yes, he is.
And a proud veteran. And he can narrate the heck out of your life.
Yes.
Man, Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, great movie. And you know what? It still holds up.
It does. It does. Another movie that has so many great parts to it. So you've got the Christian Slater character when they do the catapult. And he goes, F me, cleared it. Come on, you gotta love the Sheriff of Nottingham, Alan Rickman, and when he gets the little scar and it says, "I'll take you one piece at a time," and then later on, someone has drawn the scar onto his actual statue. And one of my favorite quotes ever from a movie: "I'll kill him with a spoon." Why a spoon? Because it'll hurt more. It's just, it's fantastic.
Alan Rickman, such a good talent.
Such a great guy, such a great one. Coming in number 8 for me, also starring a veteran of the U.S. Army. If Samuel Jackson is the godfather of our podcast, this actress is without a doubt the godmother, and that is one Betty White. And coming in, while you gotta love the Golden Girls and everything she did on television, my favorite theatrical role with her is in. And we had it referenced in Deadpool and Wolverine by Nice Pool, The Proposal.
Well done. Yeah, I forgot about Betty White. Yeah.
To hear Betty White actually quoting Lil Jon and the East Side Boys is fantastic. It's fantastic. It is. All right, my friend. Number 7.
Back in the 80s.
Yes, sir.
This is when I was young enough that I had to like sneak to watch this movie because it was always on Cinemax, and we had one of those little boxes things where if you just move the dial just like in the middle, you could kind of see it enough to see what's going on.
If you squint it, you could see what's going down. I've been
right,
there.
And then I think, and then we ended up do it on one of the free weekends where you would tape all the movies on HBO.
Absolutely.
This movie,
the amount of copyright infringement we all did in the 80s is amazing. We're now still in federal prison.
Exactly. And this was one of the first like really R-rated movies that I really watched. It's an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, along with so many people. Takes place in the future, and they just announced that there's going to be a remake of this movie starring the guy from Twisters and Maverick. Why can't I think of his name?
Oh, shoot. Yeah, I feel you. Yeah. Yeah, we've cast him as Booster Gold like 47 times.
Right? Yeah. Oh, my gosh. What is this killing me now? I'm looking it up really quick. Where are you at? Twisters.
Glenn Powell.
Huh?
Glenn
Powell. Yes, Glenn Powell. Yes. And I'm talking about Jesse Ventura in The Running Man.
So good.
Oh, such a great
So
movie.
good.
I'm actually really looking forward to the remake of this. I
Okay.
think they could do so much with
Yes.
what the Running Man is. I
Yes.
never read the books. I don't know how close it came to
Sure.
that, but it's just a good concept.
Yes, and I will say what they should do too, if you really want to stay true to the movie at least. R.I.P. to Richard Dawson. You got to have Steve Harvey as the host of the show. You
That would be
again
cool.
just pulling Family Feud to Family Feud. That would be good. And again, you got to give Richard Dawson this. He was a really good villain.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, in a movie that was not short on antagonists, he was great.
Mm-hmm.
He actually, I mean, I will admit, after that, I would kind of had a hard time watching Family Feud and syndication after that. Like, he tried to kill Arnold. So yeah, so got to give him
Yeah.
that. All right, perfect, sir.
Better
So
better than Hunger Games. The Running Man is.
very much so, very much so. All right, so and just keep the really snug outfits.
Yep.
Them you just know when they finished filming, I think they zipped in the back probably just the steam that probably came out of that. 'Cause Arnold was probably doing nothing but all protein, so it just
Mm-hmm.
smelled like this ketones and beer. So yeah, all right. Next up, my number 7. Again, one of my favorite movies. Again, also this one because one of my dad's favorite movies, who also is a military veteran, is starring a veteran of the United States Marine Corps, one Mr. Gene Hackman, in Hoosiers. Wow, white men may not be able to jump, they could shoot free throws. So yes,
Yep.
Hoosiers. Also starring Dennis Hopper
Great
and
movie.
Barbara Hershey, and talk about the movies that give you again the ocular
Mm-hmm.
perspiration. We all want to be Norman Lear, not Norman Dale, not Norman Lear. Norman Lear
Yeah.
is a veteran though in that movie. So yes, so I'm pulling in Hoosiers in my number 7 spot. Number 6 for you, sir.
Well, Brian. So my number 6 is a movie starring the one, the only Gene Hackman, and it is called Hoosiers.
What?
I was going back and forth between Superman and Hoosiers, but I'm like,
I was too, and I was like, this podcast, I cannot do a Superman movie. Superman 1
yeah,
and 2, even though he still is my opinion the best Lex Luthor. Kevin
mm-hmm,
Spacey tried, and then Chris went Kevin Spacey, but
mm-hmm,
Gene Hackman definitely probably of the Superman movies. Gene Hackman is like probably the very best
yeah,
parts of those movies.
yep.
Yes,
I think live action. I mean, TV is going to be Michael Rosenbaum,
true.
but yeah, yep. Gene Hackman. The reason I also thought about the replacements too.
Oh, really good. Yes,
But Hoosiers, when you think of Gene Hackman, the first movie that popped out of my head was Hoosiers. And so I'm like,
absolutely,
well, where
absolutely,
I can't reboot that. So like,
absolutely.
yeah, I mean, I love him as Lex Luthor, but when I think of Gene Hackman, I think Hoosiers.
It is Hoosiers,
I
and
mean,
that movie just.
Hoosiers is probably a perfect movie as well.
I mean, it's probably without a doubt the best. Some sports lend themselves better to movies. We should probably do a sport. We should probably do a sports one coming in. I don't think we've ever
Mm-hmm.
done that. But like baseball, I think lends itself to movies, the cinematic nature that baseball has.
Yeah.
So there's Field of Dreams on the dramatic side. There's Major League on the comedic side. But
Mm-hmm.
because there's so much in because baseball football, like you just said, with the replacements, any given Sunday. But do you think about great basketball movies? It's typically just movies that focus. I mean, He Got Game is really good.
Yeah, I can't even.
We talked about Blue Chips, which is but we actually talked about of course Space Jam. But Hoosiers, I think, is the best basketball movie.
Yeah.
And again, because it's hard to capture like NBA, I think
Mm-hmm.
it's just really hard to make that dramatic, but to have this little small school. It's basically it's a similar Rocky. What's the movie with Notre Dame? Rudy, those
Yep.
underdogs that shouldn't win. And you root for them completely. So absolutely.
So I just pulled up basketball movies, and here's what they said. Here's 25. Just number 25 is Celtic Pride.
Okay.
24 is Like Mike. 23 is Teen Wolf.
That's a stretch, but okay.
Right?
Technically, there's basketball in it. That's like saying Teen Wolf 2 is a boxing movie. All right.
Right? And then we have Air Bud, The Basketball Diaries, Flying High Bird. I have never even heard of that one.
What was it?
Flying High Bird.
No,
it's a
I've not heard of
Netflix
that.
movie, I guess.
Okay.
And then The Redeem Team. I'm not going to read. I might come back and check it out. Then it's a bunch of documentaries.
Okay.
Number 16, The Way Back. That's actually a pretty good movie with Ben Affleck. Hustle with Adam Sandler. That's really good.
It is.
Kobe Don't Work. Again, we're going Air, another one with Ben Affleck. Above the Rim. White Men Can't Jump, I bet is going to be on here as well.
It's got to be near the top.
Cornbread, Earl and Me from 1975. Never heard of that.
I actually saw that with my dad. I can't remember anything about it other than my dad loved it. Okay.
Yep. Space Jam is at number 10. Finding Forrester.
Yes.
That's such a good movie.
Yes.
That is so good.
Yes.
Uncut Gems, another Adam Sandler movie. That is a really good movie too. I didn't know that was an A24 movie.
And Adam Sandler has a big love of basketball. If you know anything about Adam Sandler, the person, similar to Kevin Costner has such a love for baseball, Adam Sandler has a huge love for basketball.
Yep.
And can actually play.
Yes. Glory Road, number 7.
Very good.
Oh, dude, you forgot Coach Carter.
How did I forget with Samuel Jackson?
Samuel Jackson.
My goodness. Yes.
So Hoosiers comes in at number 5.
Okay, I'm curious what the 4 that would be higher than Hoosiers would be.
So number 4 is Hoop Dreams from 1994. I don't remember that at all.
I've seen Hoop Dreams. I would say Hoosiers is better, but okay.
He Got Game. Denzel Washington, Mila Jovovich.
That's such a deep movie for a lot of
1998. Number 2 is Love and Basketball.
Yes.
That's a really good one.
It's a romantic movie. Again, it's a rom-com still think Hoosiers better, but really good. Okay.
And number 1 is White Men Can't Jump is number 1.
All right.
Oh, hi, kid.
Because here's the deal. Hi. By the way, who on Hoosiers is guarding Wesley Snipes? Like,
nobody.
Seriously.
You can't. Yeah, you can't. You want to say hi?
Broken headphones, guys. Hi.
Hi, Princess Leia. How are you?
Dead.
What are you up to tonight?
Watching Deadly Woman with my mother.
Is that
learning how to kill me later?
I was gonna say.
We had to turn the episode because when we watched, it was
not good.
Too much kissing.
Fair.
Okay. Well, tell Brian, see you. Bye.
But I don't want to take these headphones off.
Well, we have a podcast to get to, so you got to.
But you're already live, and you've been live for
Yes, my kid hisses at me.
Why would you take them off?
The fact, yeah. I
was
gonna say like you had them on backwards, but the fact that you actually got them off of her smooth like that is pretty impressive. And there's the pout.
Say bye.
This boy's killing me over here.
Okay, we're gonna do the podcast, kid.
But you are already doing the podcast.
Okay. See you later. All right.
Bye.
Bye, princess.
Okay. All right.
Oh,
yes.
I gotta. Before we jump to it, I got a hypothetical one for you. Then, so if you had one shot to make the end of the game, who's taking the shot? Is it Wesley Snipes as Sidney Dean from White Men Can't Jump, or is it Wesley Snipes as Noxeema Jackson from To Wong Fu, Thanks for Everything, Julie Newmar? Who's taking that shot for you, sir?
Dude.
What do you do, sir?
Okay.
What do you do?
Where is he? It depends where he's at in the court.
Fair.
Okay, because if he's before the halfway point, we're going White Men Can't Jump. But if he's just in the 3-point area or back, we're going To Wong Fu.
Fair. All right, that was fun. Okay, so I think I pull up at my number 6 slot. which is this movie actually stars two veterans, but I'm only claiming one because the other one I'm pulling later in my list, and that is, and how can he not be on anyone's list? If you had to pick, if Bradley, if I just said there's an actor that if I had to draw a picture of gristled, hard,
Clint
fingers
Eastwood.
in the dirt veteran, it is Clint Eastwood, who literally, I think, while we talk about we talk about Chuck Norris's beard, I think only thing tougher than Chuck Norris's beard, maybe Clint Eastwood's skin. So I'm saying Clint Eastwood, and there's a variety of great movies, but for me, it begins and ends. The list is The Unforgiven.
That is also one of the best westerns that has ever been made.
100%. 100%. Story, plot, beginning to end, The Unforgiven. I will not forgive yourself if you've not seen The Unforgiven. See what I
Dude,
did
it is a movie that I think everybody needs to watch. Is it streaming anywhere? I wonder.
I
haven't
find out because I have not seen it in a while either. You and I were thinking very similar that The Unforgiven is just one of those, and the pacing is perfect too.
The Unforgiven, 1992, and again, yep, Gene Hackman.
Paramount Plus. Yeah, Paramount Plus is streaming there.
I do have Paramount Plus.
Look, it's also on Hulu.
This is
like it's also so it looks like on Paramount Plus and Hulu.
And Max. It looks like it's on Max too.
Nice.
So
that shows you
this
how
is
great
getting watched very soon.
Like 4 or 5 streaming services, right?
Yeah.
All right, sir. Number 5. By the way, I've been trying to keep track just to catch up. So Sidney Poitier, U.S. Army. Ice-T, U.S. Army. Betty White, U.S. Army. Gene Hackman, the Marine Corps. Clint Eastwood, U.S. Army. All right. Sorry.
Awesome. My number 5. This was the start of something huge.
Is it Under the Bed?
I mean, that could be pretty big too. This is actually this is Iron Man.
It's your anniversary, so save it up, man. Save
Tomorrow,
it up.
Yeah, I know it. Iron Man. I'm talking about Jeff Bridges in Iron Man. Yeah. Again, he was one of those, like, I was debating whether to do True Grit or Iron Man.
Yes.
But I've seen Iron Man way more than I've ever seen True Grit. A great movie.
Yes.
Also a great Western. Both versions, actually. It's a pretty good remake.
Yes, whether we're talking I would say Bruce Wayne. I don't know why that came out of my head. But whether we're talking, like I said, the Jeff Bridges character, or we're talking geez Louise, why can't I think of his name? The original. The actor. Shoot. Iconic from Iowa. Oh goodness.
John Wayne?
Thank you. That's why I would say Bruce Wayne, John Wayne. All right, there it is. Okay. But yes. And I almost put a John Wayne in here. John Wayne did not make my list, but as you write, True Grit, fantastic. My number 5. And I picked this for a couple of different reasons. One, the actor is incredibly funny. 2, you listen to any interviews with him, he is a person who's a flipping badass. You would not think it because he is such a great comedic actor, but he's got a great serious side. He has. I just respect a lot of his views as a human being. And this was just one of the funniest movies I've seen in a long time. Still watch it pretty regularly if I need a good belly laugh. And that is, again, of all the branches of the military you would not guess this person being a member of, he joined up after 9/11. Rob Riggle is a U.S. Marine.
What?
And yes, Rob Riggle after 9/11 joined up with the U.S. Marine and is apparently a legit badass. Don't let the jokes fool you. And he, in the variety of things, I love him in Step Brothers, just because, pow. Rob Riggle, he also steals Night School. He's got a variety of things that he's in. My Big Fat Greek Wedding 2.
Oh, so good.
He's just so good. So I'm putting Rob Riggle number 5 for Step Brothers, just because, again, pow. and makes me want to go to the Catalina wine mixer. All right, sir.
Awesome. So my number 4. My top 4 is gonna all make sense. Number 4 is
Well, 5 through 10 have made sense, so I think we're good. All right.
So there's been one of the longest running franchises in cinema history.
Okay.
It's known for its TV shows. It's known for its movies. Started out in the 60s. Star Trek.
Yes, sir.
And Leonard Nimoy.
Yes.
Everybody loves the Vulcan.
Yes.
Mr. Spock is one of the greatest characters in the history of fiction, not just television, in fiction. Mr. Spock Mr. Spock should be up there with the best characters that's ever been created, with like Darth Vader.
Iconic.
Yeah, it's Mr. Spock. I mean, the greatest, one of the greats. And so you have to put Spock. You have to put Leonard Nimoy. You have to live long and prosper.
And speaking of things under the bed, or with your anniversary tomorrow, sometimes a Spocker will work if you don't do the shocker. All right, sir. But
you win this episode. You win this episode.
I'm sorry. Okay. Fantastic. But no, Leonard Nimoy and just everything regarding Spock. And I mean, Zachary Quinto did his damnedest. So yeah, I mean, you got to give him that. So it's funny again, while not Star Trek, a movie that definitely took a lot of its guidance from both Star Trek and Star Wars, both starring and directed by a proud U.S. Army veteran, Mel Brooks. One of our favorite shows, one of our favorite movies, one of the we consider one of our top 5 perfect films. I'm giving you a number 4. May the Swords be with us. Spaceballs.
Very good. Very good.
Number 3, my friend.
Number 3. So back a few years ago, now it's actually been about 10 years ago now, a little more. They announced that they were going forward with the greatest of all movie franchises ever, was Star Wars, and they were going to do episodes 7, 8, and 9.
Okay.
They introduced a character of Kylo Ren. Kylo Ren is the best part of the sequel trilogy. He's kind of a mirror of what Luke was. The light side of the forces was calling him to balance it. Yes. And Adam Driver is very much a veteran.
Yes.
And I had to have him on the list. And honestly, like he was the highlight of the sequel trilogy.
Yes.
I know we're getting another sequel trilogy now. They just announced that this week. I don't care. I mean, like, whatever. I'm gonna go watch it. I'm interested in it, but that'll be a podcast for another day.
The Kylo Ren story arc, like you said, is the best part of that sequel trilogy, where they tried to take Roe and all the things. I mean, they tried. I mean, I would say John Boyega also was really good. Poe Laren, I think they had their moments.
Yeah.
BB-8 sold them a lot of toys.
Yep.
But when you look at, and I like what they did with Leia. However, you know, like for a character that began and literally ended with that trilogy, Kylo Ren, without a doubt, is the highlight.
Yes. And they left, man, they should have done something with the Knights of Ren. They should have done a TV series with the Knights of Ren. I mean, like, there was a lot of missed opportunities.
Baloney, if you're listening, dude, come on now. All right, go ahead.
Fill in the Knights of Ren, man.
Sir.
There's a comic for it, but like, there is a graphic novel that's based on Kylo Ren, and it's fantastic. I can't think of what it was called. There's also another one that's coming up soon about it as well. But yes, there's my number 3, The Force Awakens, Adam Driver.
You ever wonder if he's ever on a blind date and it goes where he goes, hey, the Force is awakened. Not telling you what to do, but given that your anniversary is tomorrow, maybe that's just kind of just stroll through the house. Hey.
I think that might be after the Spocker. After the Spocker, the Force is awakened.
Podcast. I'm so sorry. Okay. All right. Next up, well, that's how you got here. All right. So number 3.
I should probably text my wife to make sure she's not listening to this right now.
Fair. You know what? It wouldn't be as much fun, but if it doesn't go well, you can always text me on your anniversary tomorrow. Like, dude, I feel you, bro. All right. So coming into my number 3 spot, another proud Marine Corps veteran. You know, what can you say about this guy other than when he took this job, he's seen shit that'll make you turn white. And whether that is being the 4th member of the Ghostbusters, being down in the sewers, fighting with Ray Stantz when you get the goo on him, to leading Oz, to being the one that is still in hella shape. When we got the Frozen Empire, we got to give to our boy Winston Zeddemore, who, pop quiz for you, hotshot. In the real Ghostbusters TV show, do you know what talk show host did the voice for the Winston Zeddemore character?
What talk show host? Was it Steve Harvey?
It was not. I'll give you one more guess. This was actually his first break before he became famous for other things.
Let's see. Talk show host. I don't know. Tell me.
Arsenio Hall.
That
in the real Ghostbusters, Arsenio Hall voiced Winston Zeddemore. This is before the Arsenio Hall show. This is before coming to America. This is before he got famous doing any other thing. And the reason that I know this, that he famously, well, to me, famous guys saw the show, actually had when the Ghostbusters sequel was coming out, he actually had the cast on and saying, hey, I played Winston Zeddemore in the real Ghostbusters TV show. I love the Snidely Whiplash thing you got going on, bro.
Thank you. It's going to go away in about 2 days because the wife does not like it, and we're going to Branson this weekend. So.
Okay, fair.
Yeah.
Fair. But my number 3 again is Ernie Hudson, and the movie is Ghostbusters. All right, my friend. Next up.
My number 2 is a movie that you already said. My number 2 is Mel Brooks in Spaceballs. That's right, Spaceballs. Spaceballs number 3, The Search for Spaceballs 2.
Yes. Hopefully the more money they got was not Bitcoin.
Right. You can't say anything that we haven't said about Spaceballs a million times. You can't watch. You cannot listen to more than 3 or 4 episodes of this podcast, and I'm guarantee we're bringing up some sort of Spaceballs.
Yes,
we're at least in every other episode, we're talking about Samuel L. Jackson. We're going to talk about our love. It's important.
Yeah, it's a thing. All right. So with that being said, my number 2, you also have mentioned this particular individual. He also was in Unforgiven, but I just want to pick something that I felt he did more of the lead in, which is Morgan Freeman, who is the lone reference I have from the United States Air Force, and in my favorite movie of his, and that is The Shawshank Redemption.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Actually, man, that makes I should have put Shawshank in for my Morgan Freeman, but my brain went straight to Robin Hood for some reason, and I'm not mad.
You know what? Mad. You can't pick a bad Morgan Freeman. It's hard to find anything that Morgan Freeman was not. I liked him in Chill Factor.
I mean,
I actually like Morgan Freeman in Chill Factor. Okay, so
he's in Lioness too.
He is. Mm-hmm. He is bald and still a badass. All right, my friend. Who's your number 1 spot?
You can probably guess my number 1.
Probably.
My number 1. A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away, there was the most badass motherfucker that has ever graced cinema. He was Anakin Skywalker. Most of us know him as Darth fucking Vader. James Earl Jones, R.I.P. The greatest character that's ever been created. Darth Vader is, especially when you take a look at the Anakin Skywalker story. He's the greatest character that's ever been created,
bro. So again, while we don't compare our list, coming in number one slot, same veteran, different movie. I came real close to Sam as Vader. However, to me, while we've talked about this before, you probably guessed. While I would say for me, my second favorite character played by one James Earl Jones is Darth Vader. My absolute favorite, if you listen to this podcast, is his role as Mufasa. So coming in my number one spot, also James Earl Jones, who's a U.S. Army veteran, R.I.P. to one of the greatest, is in The Lion King.
Nice.
So to catch us up again, for all that is served, is we have Sidney Poitier, U.S. Army, Ice-T, U.S. Army, Betty White, U.S. Army, R.I.P. to Betty White, Gene Hackman, Marine Corps, Clint Eastwood, U.S. Army. I think Clint Eastwood will never die. Rob Riggle is a Marine. Mel Brooks, U.S. Army. Ernie Hudson, Marine Corps. Morgan Freeman, our lone representation from the United States Air Force. And then number one for both of us is James Earl Jones, who, again, is a U.S. Army veteran. So, again, thank you to all that has served, will serve, continue to serve. We appreciate your service.
Yes, man. That was fun. That was a lot of fun. It was different than our normal list.
Yes.
So that was a good time. So
and we matched on veterans 4 out of our 10.
Yeah.
We had similar veterans, including number one spot. Number one spot.
Yeah. And our Hoosiers was really close to each other.
Yes, absolutely.
So you were at 7, I was at 6. So
yes, sir.
Yep. Man, so I think it's time for an honest ad.
All right, here we go. And because it is Veterans, the day before Veterans Day as we're recording, here's my honest ad on Veterans Day. I try and make these tongue-in-cheek, but given that it's Veterans Day, this one will be very authentic and sincere. I'm honest ad for Veterans Day. Stand and respect all who served. Only one day is not nearly enough for what you deserve. In our darkest nights against wave after wave, you continually prove that you are the few, the proud, the brave. Against our enemies here and across the sea, your sacrifices and diligence keep us all free. Your faces may not be shown, your names remain unsaid. The blanket of your protection hovers over all of our beds. As the sun sets on another day, this podcast appreciates all that you give. Thank you for your service from your friends at Nerd Positive.
That was wonderful, man. That was so fantastic. All right, dude. It's time for a constellation. I haven't done one of these in a while.
I'm excited. I am ready because after last week, you said you were going to bring it. I am ready.
Okay. So how are you on your Gene Hackman?
I actually like to think I'm pretty good.
Okay. So today's constellation, I want you to connect Gene Hackman, who we both had on our list.
Yep.
To another vet that I had on my list that you didn't have.
Okay.
Adam Driver.
Ooh, okay. How many did you do it in?
I did it in 3.
Okay.
Gene Hackman. So are you going to start with Adam Driver or are you going to start Gene Hackman?
They're going to start with, I might start with Driver and get to Hackman, but I got to think this through for a little bit. Mm-hmm. So you did it in 3. So between Driver and Hackman, there are 3 actors, or including those, there's 3 actors?
There's 3 actors.
Total.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right.
So actually, there's 2 actors between, not counting Gene Hackman and Adam Sandler.
Okay, so there's 2. Oh, there's 2. I keep want to say Adam Sandler as well.
Yep.
Okay, so there's 2 between them. Okay.
It almost didn't happen. I was going Jeff Bridges, and then my brain went to a certain movie, and I was like, "Oh, Adam Driver, it is."
I think I got it.
You got it. I gotta hear it. I gotta hear it.
I think I got it.
Okay.
Okay. So we'll go Adam Driver to Harrison Ford in The Force Awakens.
Okay.
And then this is the benefit of having parents who love movies. There's a movie called The Conversation that stars Harrison Ford and Gene Hackman. And that will do it. In fact, I'm going to do a Google search. I swear they were both in that. Let me double check.
Okay. That would beat me. That would beat me.
It does. Yes, he is in it. He is in it.
Okay. All right, man.
The movie
Okay.
from the 70s is that's a movie from before I was born. However, again, my dad was a big fan of it. So there we go.
All right. Well, here's how I did it.
Yes, I want to hear your version.
Gene Hackman to Adam Driver in 3 stars. Well, actually, so we need to figure out what we figure. Anyway.
Yeah. We'll work on the count.
Okay. So Gene Hackman starred in The Birdcage with Robin Williams.
Mm-hmm.
Robin Williams starred in Good Will Hunting with Matt Damon.
Okay.
Matt Damon starred in The Last Duel with Adam Driver.
So this is how the count should go. So using the way you did it.
Yes.
You went from Hackman to
Adam Driver, and so we already have those 2 stars.
Sure. So let's go. But you started off with Gene Hackman to, was it Matt Damon?
Gene Hackman to Robin Williams.
So that's 1 step.
Right. And then Robin Williams to Matt Damon. So there's 2.
2 steps.
And then Matt Damon to
Adam Driver is
3 steps. 3 steps. Okay, so yeah.
So, and I did it in 2 steps because I went from Hackman to Ford. So that's 1 step, and then Ford to Adam Driver. So that's so the way it works is however many actors it is 1. If you subtract by 1, is how many steps it is. So
yep, that makes sense.
Actors, 3 steps. Okay,
I like it.
Fun. That was fun. Okay,
you beat me. I thought I had you. I thought I was going to have you. Well done.
I have missed the constellations, man. So figuring out I was going to get a tough constellation from you, I did a same plot, different characters, and this one I'm proud of.
Okay.
Because I focus a lot on using instead of using the roles that the actors played, I used the titles of movies that they're in to describe this one. And I will give you a hint.
Okay.
This movie is very much focused on the United States military. So I want to give you a hint there. All right.
Okay.
And when you're ready, here we go. In a film that started with some risky business, it ended with all the right moves. Based on outsiders who serve under a legend, they are taken far and away in this epic that could have been born on the 4th of July. Joined by the butcher's wife, and including a tense discussion on disclosure, this Charlie's Angel goes full throttle and in their flawless performance that would have made G.I. Jane proud. Ultimately, the Easy Rider flies over the cuckoo's nest and loses his terms of endearment and showing he has no anger management and is departed without completing his bucket list. And that, my friend, is as good as it gets. Come on. I know you know this.
Read it to me again.
Okay. So remember, these are movies that these individuals have been in. Okay.
Right.
So,
right.
And I'll emphasize the movie titles. In a film with some risky business, it ended with all the right moves, based on outsiders who served under a legend. They are taken far and away in this epic that could have been born on the 4th of July, joined by the butcher's wife and including a tense discussion of disclosure. This Charlie's Angel goes full throttle in a near flawless performance that would have made G.I. Jane proud. Ultimately, the Easy Rider flies over the cuckoo's nest and loses his terms of endearment, showing that he has no anger management, is departed without completing his bucket list. And that, my friend, is as good as it gets. And it's a movie that features the military.
Is it Top Gun?
It is not. I'll give you a hint though. It definitely stars Tom Cruise.
Let's see here. Okay, I got to think about.
I know you know.
I'm trying to think of some military movies that he was in. I mean, there's American Made. There's Edge of Tomorrow, but that doesn't seem that one doesn't seem right.
This is earlier, and this is earlier. Not a ton earlier, but this is earlier.
Oh, man. Okay, I got it.
You got it. All right.
You know what? Because Brian, you can't handle the truth.
My
you
guy.
Can't.
My guy.
You can't. A Few Good Men.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Well, and probably one of Tom Cruise's best movies.
Yes, I think he might have even got an Oscar nod for that. And I think there was so much between him and him and Jack Nicholson.
Jack Nicholson, yeah.
So just for anyone listening, we'll unpack it. So A Few Good Men is correct. So here's how we go there. So the film, so these are the Tom Cruise movies, which are part of the first part of it. Mm-hmm. So the film starts with some risky business. There is an assault that results in a person dying. It ends in all the right moves. That court scene, You Can't Handle the Truth, is so fantastic. Based on Outsiders, again, an early Tom Cruise movie. Mm-hmm. They serve under a legend, not only a reference to Jack Nicholson, but also the film legend. They're taken far and away. They go from Guantanamo Bay to D.C. And it's epic, again, that could have been born on the 4th of July. Again, face about the Jack Corps, joined by the butcher's wife, an early Demi Moore movie, including an intense discussion of Disclosure, another one of her films. She was in Charlie's Angel, Full Throttle. Flawless is another movie she did. It's one of her recent ones. And again, back to the military, she played G.I. Jane. And then ultimately The Easy Rider, which is one of probably Jack Nicholson's most famous role in the 70s. Flies Over the Cuckoo's Nest, probably another one. Loses terms of endearment and shows no anger management movie he also did with one Adam Sandler. Is Departed, such a great movie. A great movie. And I didn't get to complete his bucket list, a movie did with Morgan Freeman. And of course, who could just as good as it gets? Come on now, Verdell, the dog, all the things. So that is again, as you got it, my friend, that is breaking down from a same plot, different characters of A Few Good Men. And yes, my friend, I cannot handle the truth. All right, bro.
Are you watching NCIS Origins?
Yes.
Dude, it's fantastic.
It is.
You know, I thought that it was going to be just the origins of Gibbs, but it's actually the origins of NCIS, and I'm like, well done.
Yes.
Well freaking done. It's great. All right, I got a Did You Know?
Let's hit it.
Okay. This is a Did You Know about Pat Sajak.
Okay.
The phrase "Good Morning Vietnam" was shouted by American radio DJs to the delight of servicemen throughout the war that made the on-air slogan famous. Okay. Among those DJs was longtime Wheel of Fortune host Pat Sajak, who joined
Really?
the Army as a clerk typist with the rank of Specialist 5th Class before his talents was recognized and he was ordered to entertain. I
That's
thought
great.
that was a great little tidbit.
That is a great one, sir. Seriously.
Do you have a human of the week?
I do, and we got to give this. And Bradley, thank you for letting me know. My Better Nuts Human of the Week, while it's a little bit of a somber one, I think we just got to give some big ups to one Anthony Tyron Todd, which most of us know as Tony Todd. So he was an iconic actor among a variety of primarily horror movies. He was known because his physically imposing look, demeanor, and that voice. Just a few of the credits that I'm having here. He voiced the Fallen in Transformers: Revenge of the Fallen. He was the voice of Zoom in Flash. He the voice of Darkseid in the DC animated universe. So many things. He had a great shout out in an episode of Psych. I believe it's the same episode that actually featured John Cena. And of course, where most of us know him from are horror movies such as the Final Destination series and Candyman. Candyman. I won't say it.
Don't say it a third time. It's like I would.
Who would you rather say three times?
Beetlejuice
or the other? Yeah, I was gonna say. Yeah. So,
I'm going. You know what? I'm going Beetlejuice, but I want to see a fight between Beetlejuice and
the other guy.
The other guy.
The guy with the bees. The guy with the bees.
Right. I am more afraid of that than I am about Beetlejuice.
And let's not forget the Tony Todd movie. He actually did get the girl in the end, while the Michael Keaton character, not so much. So
I mean, he's trying 30 years later. So
he was. Yeah. And by the way, that is proof that if you ever break up with someone and they die, don't cry their name in the mirror and say it, because you never know, they might come back and not be a big fan of yours. So
yes. So my Better Than Us Human of the Week is my wife.
Of course,
we got our 13th wedding anniversary coming up tomorrow. I got the day off of work. I'm still gonna go in and do a little bit of work because I don't want to be overloaded on Tuesday. But we are celebrating just ourselves. I'm gonna go enjoy some free food for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, probably.
As you should.
And then we are headed to Branson actually next weekend to have a little bit of us time. And I am going to. We booked it before I found out that Christmas kind of threw up in Branson, so this ought to be interesting because. It's not that I don't like Christmas.
Sure.
I'm gonna go see Red One this week.
Okay.
I just don't like it in November.
Yeah.
I don't like it until about December 23rd. And I don't have a reason. My wife, family, they all give me a bunch of crap. Like, Dad, you're not Christmas spirit. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it was from the military. I don't know if I got some blocked off memory in my head. I just don't get in the Christmas spirit till really close to Christmas.
I'm the same. I mean, every year it seems like we're celebrating it earlier and earlier and earlier. Your kids are younger than mine, but it does seem like, again, it seems like the day after Halloween is Christmas, and you still got almost 2 months until the actual day, right? And it feels forced. It feels overly commercialized, and so I think that does take away a bit of the spirit. But in Branson, I have heard, is where Christmas went to vomit. So
wish
it
me
will be
luck.
interesting. I'll be thinking of you, man. Yeah. But you and your wife deserve a fantastic vacation. You deserve a great anniversary tomorrow. Absolutely, get all the free swag. Again, we said it multiple times on our podcast. Bradley is a very proud veteran. I am not. My father was, and I have nothing but respect for our military, for the men and women that put their lives on the line every single day. And for folks that go, well, they served during peacetime. It takes one thing to happen where peacetime becomes wartime. So that is, and by the way, we should hope that they all serve in peacetime.
And just because it's peacetime, there's people making sure that it's peacetime.
Absolutely. So I got nothing but, again, the utmost respect for our men and women across all the branches of military. So again, to you, my friend, to anyone that is listening, thank you for your service. And thank you for keeping our country safe.
All right, Brian, where can we find you?
You can find me, as always, on the Book of Faces at Brian Stephen Dennis. Give me a like, give me a follow, give me a friend request. I keep trying to keep my content always light and occasionally weird.
All right, you can find me from here. Follow me at Facebook at Nerd Positive, YouTube at Nerd Positive, TikTok at Nerd Positive 1, and at movies.bs. Instagram at Fandemic1. If you feel there's more of a conversation, feel free to reach out and let's talk. Who knows? Maybe you'll be the next guest on Nerd Positive. There's always room for one more. We would love to have a 3-man conversation sometime.
We'll even put you in bed, just like Pennywise.
That's right. That's right. You already won the episode, man. Now you're just rubbing it in. All right. Message me on Facebook at Nerd Positive, now active on TikTok as well. Hear my reviews, so much more. If you want to support the show, you can do so at buymeacoffee.com/nerdpositive or patreon.com/nerdpositive. All right, man. I think, well, first of all, hey, if you like the show, you gotta rate us. Give us a 5-star review. Sure. That will tell more people how to level up their awesome. Because if there's a couple things we know how to be awesome. That's right. That's right. All right, man. So, Brian, I think we are at max levels of awesome for the evening. What do we do?
Well, let's send us off on a good note as always. So thank you, folks in our podcast universe, for number one, surviving the pandemic and now proving yourself as Nerd Positive. And as always, please remember, no retreat, no surrender. And Goonies, never say die.
If you think about it every time you feel stupid, you just got a little bit smarter. Squirrels' cheeks are their nutsacks. Remember, don't today end in a why didn't I? Now, Brian, what does a baby computer call his dad?
Data.
Data. All right. You are Nerd Positive, my friend. Have a wonderful night.